So I am officially welcoming you to our very own Career Talk webinar. I am your host for today, Martina Myers, and thank you for joining. So today you'll be learning quite a lot about the law programs that UCC has to offer to you. So two of these programs are in partnership with the University of London. So in this career talk session, we'll be exploring UCC's law programs, two of which are in partnership with the University of London. So you will not only learn about these programs, but you will also learn about the career opportunities that are available to you in the field of law. You will learn how you can become a part of the UCC family. How can you sign up? What are the benefits of signing up? What is so unique about UCC? What is so unique about the law programs that we have to offer? And I am encouraging you to stay tuned, listen keenly, because we'll be having question and answer sessions, and we'll also be having giveaways. So you can tell a friend to join and just be filled with information and excitement. Now, I want to officially introduce you to our panel for today. I am Martina Myers, I'm your host. We have Dr. Marcus Goff, who is the head of department for the law unit here at UCC. We have Mrs. Maxine Watts, who's the senior program coordinator at UCC. And they will be telling you more about the law programs and the law departments and how you can get integrated into our programs. We also have with us Mrs. Andrea Ray. She is the acting vice president for the recruitment, student affairs, enrollment, management, and wellness. We also have Mrs. Eileen Hooper Donaldson, who is the senior recruitment and enrollment advisor for undergraduate students. And we also have Miss Donna Hunter, who is the recruitment and enrollment supervisor. So they're all from the recruitment department, and they will be telling you more as to how you can be a student at UCC, why choose UCC, what is the process like, how can you register for our law programs. So I am going to be handing over to Dr. Goff, who will be telling you a little bit, who will be listing the programs that we have here under the law department, and just a little bit of information about them, what is so different about UCC's law programs compared to the other programs. So Dr. Goff, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Pleased to be here with you all. Thanks for joining us at this our career talk. I want to thank Ms. Myers and the UCC marketing team, Mrs. Ray, of course, Mrs. Watts of the law department as well, and all of you for joining us here at this important event where we want to share with you what's happening at UCC Law and how you can get involved if you wish. So it's an interactive presentation. I'm going to go through quite a bit, but I hope that you will feel free to stop me. I don't know, is it okay, Mrs. Myers? I don't know if they're going to have a Q&A or if I can accommodate persons, yes, as we go along. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to just share my slides and go right into the presentation. So, as I'm sure you know, but if you don't, UCC is, of course, the only recognized teaching center of the University of London in Jamaica. And so, of course, you see me here with the UCC, University of London backdrop. But we also have other things that are happening at UCC that we want to share with you. So I'll be going through just an overview about UCC and UCC law, our commitment to students, I'll go into the objectives and the expectations. Of course, I'll go into detail with the law programs, both the London law program, which comprises the Certificate in Higher Education in Common Law, as well as the Bachelor of Laws program, as well as looking at the UCC's own Associates of Science degree in Paralegal Studies. Then we look at some career paths in law and other national, regional, international opportunities. So this is UCC. You may have heard about UCC, maybe seen us on TV or on radio or otherwise online. UCC is in fact Jamaica's largest private, non-affiliated tertiary institution of higher learning. We're a member of the Commonwealth and the OAS Consortia of Universities, and in 2020 achieved institutional accreditation by the University Council of Jamaica, one of only 4 universities in Jamaica to have achieved this significant status in Jamaica. We are also internationally accredited by ASIC, as the accreditation service for international schools, colleges, and universities, as well as by KISAN, Quality International Study Abroad Network. And of course, in the context of the UK, we are also very much accredited, as you see, to the University of London. So UCC has for many years offered the University of London programs in Jamaica, law programs in particular in Jamaica. Right? And what that really means is that we are then certified according to the University of London's international standards as being suitable and effectively able to offer this program or these 2 programs of law in Jamaica. We're accredited to offer the University of London Certificate in Higher Education in Common Law, Cert HE for short, and the Bachelor of Laws degree also, which is the LLB from the University of London. But this, of course, is in itself quite significant. This means that when you do pursue one of these programs with us through University of London at UCC, then you are assured of the recognition of your qualification by the University of London and by all international partners who recognize, of course, the UOL's long established and esteemed status as a tertiary institution of higher education. So that in of itself opens up opportunities, which we'll talk about later in terms of the global market. So upon completion of any of those 2 programs, you will get a University of London certificate or degree, as the case may be. As a recognized teaching center of the University of London, we provide hands-on tutorial support for CERT and for LLB Bachelors of Law students in Jamaica who are enrolled in the program at UCC. So our role really then is to prepare students, right, through a series of lectures and tutorials and seminars and assessments to succeed in acquiring the qualifications you're pursuing from and through the University of London. And we do this through a cadre of experienced legal lecturers and tutors, as well as through many, many years of offering this program in Jamaica, knowing the tips to follow, and of course, the experiences from past to help you through the navigation of the London's processes. And so that's an important part of what you get when you partner with us, a trusted partner of UOL for many, many years. So as I said earlier, as a UOL partner, we are certified, we are accredited, we are routinely reviewed according to the UOL's international standard. And in fact, they have their UOL Teaching Center recognition framework, which outlines all of the several criteria that we must meet and do regularly, routinely meet in order to obtain and to retain UOL's recognized teaching status. So we are certified and reviewed and assessed in the areas of quality, academic administration and delivery, access to comprehensive, up-to-date, and relevant learning resources and IT infrastructure. And out of that, as I said, we have been able over many years to continue that recognition, which means, of course, that you're getting in this area one of the most, I would say, consistent offers of this program in the Commonwealth Caribbean here at UCC. So I want to go a bit into then the details of the two programs that we offer through the University of London. So the first is what we call the CERT for short, right? The Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law, which is a qualification in its own right that provides an entry route to degree study to be able to do the Bachelor of Laws degree, which you can also do here. So the CERT in Common Law program is really a one-year program, which really serves as the first year, as it were. You will be doing the same courses as you would do if you were enrolled in the first year of the Bachelor of Laws program at UCC. And so having completed the CERT in Common Law, you will then be permitted to matriculate into the second year of the UOL Bachelor of Laws program at UCC. So it's really an introductory course or program into the entire sphere of the law. What it does is allows you to get a feel for law if you've never done law before, perhaps, to see what law entails, to see how law operates and functions, and to decide whether or not what you have been exposed to you would want to pursue in greater detail and in further depth. And so it gives students then a first year chance of being experienced and exposed to law without necessarily having the qualifications that would be required for you to be enrolled in the full Bachelor of Laws program. So persons who possess only CXCs or CSEC subjects may do the Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law, and that will then require them to, of course, show successful completion or passes in CXC or CSEC subjects, and that will then allow them to start studying law. Although again, you would not be able to start the LLB until you have had this CERT completed successfully, right? It's an entry-level course that allows persons without the qualifications to go to the degree program to start studying law, nonetheless, to one of the most recognized teaching centers in this part of the world. So what you will do then at the program with us is several courses, right? So actually commercial law is a 7-year course, probably should not be there. But the other course is criminal law, tort law, contract law, property law, legal systems and methods, equity and trusts, and public law, as well as European Union law, are all offered as well. And so you will get a chance to gain some of your skills and understanding some of these fundamental areas of law, which will be very important for you to be able to use as you progress through your law studies and into your law career. Okay. In terms of the course that we compulsorily require at UCC is called English for Legal Professionals. What this course does is allows you to hone your English language skills, but to use them particularly effectively in a legal context. So how to address legal questions, how to do legal research and writing, how to present legal arguments and opinions, prepare legal memos and things like that, which again, these soft skills will not only help you through the exams, but also, of course, in your future careers in the area of law. So you'll be immersed in law coming to UCC and being able to, of course, look at the law both from a context of what's happening nationally, but of course, through the lens of the English law, which you were studying at UCC through the University of London. So the program duration in terms of the CERT, it can be done in 1 year minimum or a maximum of 2 years. And the structure for classes varies. It can be full-time or part-time. Generally, classes are held in weekday evenings, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. or thereabouts, and on Saturday evenings as well as on Sundays. And so the program is really flexible for persons who are also working, persons who are maybe doing other, daytime engagements and would want to do this either part-time or after work in the evenings and on weekends, right? And so for that reason also, the program is quite interesting. It's quite attractive to persons because, of course, many of us nowadays need to be working to be able to deal with school fees and other kind of commitments like that. At the same time, not want to sacrifice um, education and access to education. And so you have the chance at UCC to do both, right? Both continue your 9 to 5 job as well as to be able to qualify for this law qualification through evening and weekend classes, right? So very flexible and very attractive for that purpose for those who want to be able to do law while still, of course, working or studying. Now, in terms of looking at the way that we do our teaching modalities at UCC, it's primarily a mixture of lectures and tutorials. So, of course, at this level, you would be expected to be able to drive your own, studying, to be self-driven in terms of preparing your own materials. You're expected to read your course outlines, of course, and your study guides and your textbooks as appropriate. And so what we aim to do is really to summarize the content through lectures, but more so to be able to get into a practical hands-on discussion, assisting you to understand and to apply what you've learned and read in practical contexts, and certainly in the context of preparation for upcoming exams, right? So we have 1 hour of tutorials per week and 2 hours of lectures per week where we assist students to be able to, I guess, what I'm explaining, to mix both the theory as well as to get into the preparation and application of that theory to practice in an exam setting. So prior to COVID, of course, we really had strictly face-to-face classes, which was a requirement of London. But since COVID, we've had more blended teaching, comprising both online and face-to-face modalities. And so now as we have emerged or are emerging out of COVID, but at the same time still being mindful, of course, of the continuing risk, we will continue to have blended teaching, but primarily face-to-face, as we are required by London to revert as far as possible to our pre-COVID situation. London also does require of students enrolled in the CERT in higher education program a 75% minimum attendance in classes, right? Which UOL strictly monitors for compliance. And so because UOL wants to ensure that students are fully engaged, fully focused, and fully committed, then this requirement is there, again, primarily for students who are in the CERT program, who are new to law for the first time doing law, and would need to have that kind of attention and commitment to the program. So you must be prepared to attend at least 75% of classes to be able to assure London that you are engaged and that you are benefiting from the expertise being offered here at UCC. So in terms of entry requirements for the CERT program, you must have a minimum of 5 GCE O-level or 60 subjects with passes at A, B, or C, or 1 or 2, including English language. Note that for participants with 60 passes at level 3, it's also eligible since 1998. Or 3 GCE O-levels or CXCs, including English language, plus a paralegal qualification from a recognized institution. And we will soon talk about our UCC paralegal program that we have developed. So the requirements are low, let us say, and it's a 1-year program, and that will give you a good introduction, a good taste, a good feel for law, and help you. Maybe if you're not sure if you want to do full law or you're not able to qualify for full law at this stage, you could use this as a stepping stone to further your pursuit of a law career. As a London program, London will provide you with the textbooks once you're fully enrolled with the program. Sorry, well, they must be sourced by you, but they'll be giving you a list of textbooks that you should focus on studying from for your exams. But what they will provide at London is the study guides, right, which are like summaries, very detailed summaries, both of the law, common law, case law, and legislation that will be used for your exam preparation, as well as statutes. Statutes meaning the English laws that govern these several areas. You'll be also able to use and get from London. English language requirement. This is also something that London is very keen about, to ensure that students are fully conversant with the English language, able to speak and write and present their arguments in well-structured English language sentences and paragraphs and answers and so forth. And so that's also something that we have to pay keen attention to. And we have, of course, the course that I mentioned earlier, English for Legal Professionals, which will help you to hone those skills, which will help you both in exam context and, let's say, in the real working world of law. Students are required both for the CERT and the LLB programs to pay two sets of fees, both to London, right, who is the degree or the qualification provider, as well as UCC, who, of course, we are providing teaching assistance. And so both sets of fees would have to be paid for you to be fully enrolled. All UL fee payments are payable to the University of London, either online, using Visa or MasterCard, or offline via Western Union. Whereas all UCC payments can be made by credit card, debit card, manager's check, and on the Orion Student Management System, or through direct bank transfer to UCC using your student ID number. So we've made the program very accessible, right? And so we hope that through us being able to explain how it functions, if you are interested, you'll be able to, with significant ease, engage us in how you want to, when you want to commence your studies at UCC. What we should also point out too is that you have to register both with UCC and with UL as well, right? So UL will provide you with the username and a password for their website, which has access to their virtual learning environment, very informative platform that they have, where they give you information updated every day concerning the program and studies and other students and other focus areas that you might be interested in as a law student. And so you'll have access to the whole world of London law once you are fully enrolled. You'll also be given guidance considering what you want to register for and how to move through the system if you want to go even from beyond the CERT into the Bachelor of Laws and even further. So you get the support then of two institutions when you sign up with us, both the University of London and the UCC, again, to assist you in all of your navigations through your desired career. The exams of London are held twice per year, in May or June, as well as in October. The main exams being in May or June, and then October generally being where students may choose to do a supplemental exam, or maybe if they only do two in May or June, they may do two in October to give themselves more time to balance and to have their best chance of success. Normally, pre-COVID, we'd have a overseas exam center situation where you'd have to go and pay and to sit your exams at the Overseas Exam Commission, which is on Mariska Road. But since COVID, we've not had to engage with that. again, next year, we're still waiting to hear what London will say about that. But it may very well be that we will still be having online exams next year, virtual exams next year, which is what we've been having for the last 2 years or so since COVID. You will be, once you're enrolled in the program, be assisted through a series of not only lectures and tutorials, but of assessments on each topic, right? And this will assist in terms of you being able to get hands-on feedback, and you give your lecturers some work with a piece of essay or some other legal writing, legal research, problem question. You're given feedback by your lecturers, which you can then, take, do some reformulation, resubmit it for some more feedback to your lecturer, right? So it's a very hands-on program. Lectures are very accessible to you, both in and outside of class, and always willing and able to assist you with any areas you feel might want some extra help with. The assessment that we do also at UCC, we have a mid-module assessment, which is normally held in December, and then an end of module assessment, which is held in June and July. And so, the end of module is held in March or April, and then the actual exam that UOL delivers is in June, or well, not even July, it's in June, May or June, right? So through the course of your studies here with us, we also have a series of assessments which are geared to assist you to assess your ability to complete the required work under exam conditions, right? And so what that means is that you will then be able to not only get feedback from your lecturers beforehand, but to sit a mock exam under exam conditions and get feedback from your lecturers on that mock exam as well, right? So not only to prepare in terms of content, but also preparing in terms of time management and how to work under pressure. And so to be able to skillfully answer questions, to navigate and to get to the heart of a matter, to answer the best way possible within the given time is important for success in this program. And so that's what we do through a structured means of assessment from start to finish. So that's the London programs, which I went through just now. So before I go on to the paralegal program, perhaps I will share about the bachelor's program. The Bachelor's of Law program then is really building on the first year, right? So after you've done the first year program, you will then go on to the second year, where the second year now, it's less, I would say, less hands-on, right? London does not require 75% attendance at that stage. You're more independent at that stage, having done 1 year of law. So you're expected to kind of drive your own study program, but again, with the aid of lecturers and tutors to assist you with exam preparation, with certain legal concepts and that kind of thing. And so you will have the choice also of what courses to take in your second and third year of the Bachelor of Laws program. Whereas in the first year, the courses are compulsory and mandatory. For the second and third year, you will have some choice in terms of what you want to do. And so there's a much wider choice of law subjects that you can choose from in your second and third year of study with us. Right? So the London program then, I say, is really our flagship program, which we've had for several years, for many years. And that is what we have a significant cadre, I would say, of graduates at this point in time from, because again, of our length of time offering that program in the national and regional space. So there are some questions. Maybe I can take some questions.
We can take the questions right now, Dr. Goff.
Yes, I think so.
With that.
Yeah, you want to fill some for me, or I can see some as well?
Yes, you can take some. All right, so one of the first questions came from Chelsea. She was asked, she said, "Good day, I would like to find out what subjects are required for the law program." I believe you had answer that in one of the previous slides, but you can go ahead and just list some of the programs that are there. Ronald, I see you raise your hand. I'm coming to you.
Right. So for the cert, which is the first year, right? And for the Bachelor of Laws, year one, which is the same as the cert in terms of the content, you don't have any choice. You will have to study criminal law, contract law, you have to study legal systems and methods, and also English for legal professionals, right? And so those courses are geared to give you a good foundation in the law, to assist you to understand the basics of how the law functions, the history of the common law and English law, as well as some of the key concepts coming out of the fundamental areas that we have to look at, including, as I say, criminal law, tort law, and contract law, right? So those are what you'll get a chance to study. Law, legal systems and methods looks at the foundations of the legal system, right? How is the legal system established? The court system, the governance system, the system of parliamentary supremacy in the UK, right? All that we look at, so you get a better feel for how law functions in a legal system and what are the roots of the common law legal system operated by England, which of course is the same that we have here in terms of the foundations of our system here in Jamaica, is of course the common law legal system. So that's what you do in the first year.
Thank you, Dr. Val. Kelly Brown had asked, I have CXC and CAPE, but no math. Can you do the Bachelor of Laws if you don't have math? I believe recruitment can.
So, Ms. Watts, you know, help me with that one? That's the Bachelor of Laws they're asking about, right? And can you do that one if you don't have math? So for the cert, the answer is yes, right? The Bachelor of Laws program, this is for year 2. Ms. Watts, are there any restrictions there concerning math? I know this question comes up.
No, you don't have to have maths to do this program.
Not at all.
And not at all. That is the Bachelor of Law. You do need it for the paralegal. And you have to have it at 1 or 2. If it is that you have it at 3, you will have to do the core maths to continue that program in paralegal studies.
Right. Thank you both. Sanchez had a question, and I see his hand is raised also. I have a genuine passion for law, and UCC is the heart to which I would like to complete my degree. I'm happy to learn of that, Sanchez. I have 3 subjects which include English, social studies, and principles of business. My question is, I have 3 and I'm now 28 years of age. Would it be possible for me to enroll on the CERT HE program? I believe so.
The CERT program, you need 5 CXCs. As I said before, you don't need maths, but you do need to have English. We prefer to know if it is that you're going to, there is a route, the mature entry. Are you working in that industry? If it is that you're working in the industry, then there could be a consideration for you if it is that you're going to take on the CERT program. If it is that you're not working in the CERT program, the age is 35 years old, and you would be admitted with the 3 subjects. So if that's a mature entry, and it is encouraged that you are in the industry. And if it is that you're in the industry and you're over 35 years, then you would be considered. You need a copy of your resume, birth certificate, 2 professional references, 1 job letter. And if you're self-employed, you will need your company certificate or certified documents of incorporation of your company.
Thank you, Mrs. Watts. We also have Daniel Stamp. Do you offer the LEC equivalent at University of London? Do I need to attend Norman Manley after completing my Bachelor's of Law at University of London?
Well, this program allows you to really have international status, as it were. You can do this program and you go to any country in the world. that accept the University of London program to sit your CLE, the Certificate of Legal Education. So to answer your question, if it is that you're going to work and live in Jamaica, then the law school is where you would attend to do your CLE. However, if it is that you're going overseas, for example, if you will be in New York or Canada, you will need to do the bar exams there. And so you would go to that country where you will be living to do that 2-year stint. And you have to do your research because it doesn't always, it's not always 2 years. It may be 18 months, depending on the jurisdiction where you're in. So you need to do your research to ensure where you're going to live. If that's where you want to do your CLE, then you will need to know that it is offered there.
Okay, I'm just going to take a few more. Kelly had also asked, does the school offer scholarships? Yeah, that's a good one.
UCC offers several scholarships. You can view their website to find out all the scholarships that they offer. Maybe Ms. Donaldson and our recruitment team can give further information on that. But from the University of London standpoint, University of London offers scholarships to their students in London. So, but UCC also have local scholarships that you could look to see if you qualify to obtain. Ms. Donaldson or Mrs. Ray, would you like to elaborate on that?
So Kelly was asking about scholarships, especially for these law programs. But
take that when we do the presentation in a short while. Thanks.
okay, so Mrs. Donaldson will address that in her presentation that is coming up, but we're just trying to get through some of the questions first. Alana had asked, what if I am already enrolled in paralegal studies? Can I switch to this program?
No, you will not be able to just switch like that. We would not encourage switching like that. You can switch if it is that you have met the matriculation requirement. So if it is that you have 5 CXCs, including the English, then yes, you can do it. But we always encourage persons to complete a degree that you have started. It doesn't really look good to have incomplete programs going, because we want to see that you are someone who complete what you have started. UOL programs, they are not necessarily a walk in the park. And sometimes we feel, based on our experience, that when you have done the associate, it better prepares you for the rigorous course of the University of London programs. So I'd encourage you to finish the associates and then matriculate into the Bachelor's of Law program. All right.
Thank you, Mrs. Watts. I'm going to take 2 more questions and then we will answer the other questions after the giveaway and after the rest of the presentation. So, Dr. Goff, I think this one is for you. Kim Y. Beckford said, she arrived late. She's uncertain if she missed the information, but are the evening sessions limited to part-time, or is there an option for scheduling full-time evening classes?
So the evening sessions, yes, essentially are going to qualify as part-time. Again, primarily to facilitate working, persons who may be working full-time in the day, 9 to 5 and so forth. So the classes are really evenings and weekends, since we don't have full-time evenings. So yes, but it's meant to, again, to be flexible so that you can really be able to engage while still continuing to work.
This is in relation to the UOL program?
Yes, this is in relation to the UOL program that I was talking about earlier.
Right. Well, the evening courses are not individual courses themselves. They are tutorials. And so you would have gone to classes over the weekend and have tutorials for those same classes in the evenings. There are only tutorials that are online in the evenings. Classes are on the weekend predominantly, and you go to tutorials in the evenings. online.
Okay, thank you both. I see the questions about price and cost and tuition and fees. We're going to answer that afterwards. But a lot of information has been shared with you all for the past few minutes, and I hope you are keenly paying attention because I have two questions to ask you for a chance to win a token courtesy of UCC. So earlier in his presentation, Dr. Goff mentioned a very important fact because being accredited is a big deal, and it is important that we ensure that we are in the correct standing to offer you these programs, right? So for the law program specifically, UCC is the only recognized teaching center of which institution? Marcia, I see you raise your hand. If you can speak, you can go ahead and tell us the answer. All right, I see Alexia Leachman. You are the first person. Guys, if your hand is up, you can go ahead and you can speak. Once you're able to use your mic, feel free to do so. But based on the chat, Alexia Leachman, you were the first person to answer correctly. It is indeed the University of London. I'm going to reach out to you privately so that I can get your information so that we can make arrangements to have you pick up your token. The second question, I wonder how fast you guys can type it. The second question is, name one law program offered at UCC. If it's even just one law program offered at UCC. I see the answers coming in. I see the answers. Who was the first person to answer? I see cert HE, I see criminal law, I see common law, I see bachelors of law, I see English for legal professionals, I see paralegal studies. You all are correct, but the first person who sent in their correct answer was Kimoy Beckford. So Kimoy, congratulations. Again, you all are correct, but it was the first person. No, you can stay tuned. I might have a little bonus question. Who knows? So right now, thank you, Dr. Goff, for your presentation. I really do appreciate it. I'm sure that our participants have a lot of information that they've gained, and they have a lot to consider. And I take it that they'll be interested in signing up, hopefully for fall 2023. Looking forward to it. All right, so
just to say no, Ms. Miles,
no problem.
I was going into some more detail on the paralegal side.
Okay.
That was
Yes, you can go ahead.
also on the London side. I don't want to leave out, of course, our indigenous program that we have, the paralegal programs in 2020. So we could say a few more words about the paralegal program, because I know some persons are interested in that program, particularly, right? So this paralegal program, we commenced in 2020, just prior to the start of COVID. And so this program now is tailored to suit the practical realities of working in a law office in the Commonwealth Caribbean, right? So it is for persons who may be already working in a law office as a paralegal, a law secretary, legal assistant, a legal clerk, etc., who may have practical knowledge but not a qualification, or persons who may want to enter into the paralegal field or the law field overall and want to get into the door through the paralegal route, right? This is an Associate of Science degree, an ASC degree in paralegal studies that we're offering since 2020. And this then is essentially 2-year program that aims to equip you with the skills needed to effectively contribute to the economical and efficient delivery of legal services of organizations, right? So it's like learning the law from the ground up, right? From the law office where much of the law happens, whether it's a government law office or a private law office, whether it's an in-house law office or it's a lawyer's office, being able to be familiar with how to prepare contracts of certain types, or to prepare transfer documents, how to prepare claim forms and other court documents, how to go through dealing with people who have maybe need to prepare a will or have died and left land, dead left. So we go through practical procedural things that assist you to be of use and of course to be employable in the legal fraternity, both in Jamaica and in the Commonwealth Caribbean. The paralegal program is a 2-year program. It's a requirement of 61 credits. We of course have entry commencing for next month, fall 2023. And this program, in contrast to the London program, is fully online. And so that one, we have classes generally either in the days, morning or afternoon, or occasionally in the evenings. No weekend classes for this one. And this one then is able again to have students who can participate, whether you are already working 9 to 5 and want to do this in your evening or in your part-time. You can come on, sign up with us, and again get exposed to a variety of legal foundational courses as well as practical procedural courses will help you in the real world of the law office that we have here in Jamaica and the Caribbean. So of course, the program, as we saw earlier from the requirements for the London program, the paralegal program is also a stepping stone to a career in law. You can move from that paralegal program into the CERT, HE in common law, or into the Bachelor of Laws program, right? Helps you again to sharpen your research and investigative skills and practical legal skills. Helps you to understand legal terminologies, exposed to law in that context. And of course, to improve your communication and writing skills, or to be able to articulate and to communicate your legal perspectives in an efficient and appropriate manner. The entry requirements for this program, the paralegal program, 5 subjects at GCE or CSEC level, including mandatory English language and mathematics at grades A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, respectively. If you have a level 3 in CSEC, must have been obtained since 98 for you to qualify. Candidates who have a minimum of 4 CXCs can also apply, pending the outstanding CXC subjects, right? Or they can opt to do a UCC replacement course in core mathematics, English for academic purposes, and or fundamentals of accounting. And so again, we're flexible in how you can access these courses. If you don't have the pre-required qualifications, then we assist you to also get qualified for entry into the program. You can also opt to apply under the mature option. If you are a mature student, you must be working for at least 5 years or more and be at least 25 years old, and provide us with a detailed resume, a job letter, and 3 professional references, as well as your qualifications. And this can also be, of course, facilitated at UCC. In terms of looking at the assessments for the course, the UCC paralegal assessments follow the UCC general course requirements. So for a successful completion of the course, you have to complete, of each course, you have to complete at least 60% of coursework for each course, which comprises a 20% mid-semester assessment, a 20% pre-mid-semester, and a 20% group assignment, as well as a 40% end of semester assessment, which we have to pass in order to pass the course. The pass grade is only 50%, and of course, you know, we aim to have a higher pass mark on average, but that is the minimum. And so we are able to really go through again, and because of the rigorous nature of these programs, just have one exam at the end, but we have the exam plus 3 pieces of coursework you must comply with. And so at the end of the 2-year program, you will find yourself very comfortable with legal terminology and legal procedure in certain courses, and also feeling very skillful and useful in a real way in a law office, more than just in a practical, theoretical context. And so for us, you know, our aim at UCC and at the law department is to assist you to achieve your exam results, which meet the requirements for you to complete your course of study, whether it be the paralegal program, the certain HE in common law, or the Bachelor of Laws program. We aim to assist you to apply your skills and to pursue your chosen career path by providing you with career guidance and career support as well through your pursuit of law. Our commitment to students is to provide quality academic administration and delivery, access to comprehensive, up-to-date, and relevant learning resources and IT infrastructure, a range of learning activities which promote individual learning, achievement, guidance and support in terms of practice and exam preparation, strategies and tips. We provide you with a range of formative assessments that help you to hone your skills and to be prepared as best as possible for your exams, including timely feedback from lecturers on your assessments, provide advisement and support where requested. We aim to respond to your queries fully and within reasonable time frames, and we're open to your feedback, suggestions, and complaints, and to always be continuously aiming to strengthen our program as we aim to increase the service to you and the wider Commonwealth Caribbean population. In return, we ask that you, of course, at all times while you're here with us, continue to grow personally and professionally, maintain a courteous conduct to your fellow students, and of course, to all lecturers and colleagues, that you adopt a responsible approach to your studies, right? Take your law studies seriously. Of course, you only will get as much out of it as you put into it, and so put aside the time, even though you might be working and so forth, to focus on your studies so you get the best in your results. Observe the minimum attendance requirements where required, like for the CERT HE program. Complete and submit assigned assessment to lecturers for feedback. Prepare for and complete the UCC assessments, and of course, settle all financial arrears early. And that is really what we say to all students, to guide you in terms of successful completion of your choice of law studies with us at UCC. So as I prepare to close, I just want to speak about then beyond study, right? Beyond study. I mean, most persons choose to come to us because of some passion for law, a lifelong passion, whether it be from watching Law and Order on TV, or maybe a family member who has had a court case, or you just met a lawyer or a judge and was inspired to pursue law. Now, what do you want to do as a career? Well, certainly you can, if you want, pursue even further studies after this. So the LLM is the Master of Laws. You can pursue again through University of London or other universities that are offering such. If you want to perhaps go into teaching or to specialize in a particular area of law, you can go to pursue a master's degree. The LEC, what we call a Legal Education Certificate, and this is also obtained, as we heard earlier, from the Norman Manley Law School, where to qualify to practice law in Jamaica, you have to go to the Norman Law School at some stage. And so, yes, to qualify there, you'd have to then pursue that either through entry exam to the law school. Having had a Bachelor of Laws degree, would then be eligible to apply for and do the exam for entry into the Norman Law School. Or a PhD, right, in law, which can again be obtained through a tertiary university, normally comprising a thought and or research component to your law studies. That's also primarily for teaching, but all other kind of research or policy kind of work-based context that can assist you again to deepen your love for law if you want to pursue law, primarily in the area of academia. But let's say that you want to pursue other kind of career paths in law. The first thing to note is that you don't necessarily have to have an LLB, right? Many persons who have a law degree or even a cert in higher education in common law and so forth don't necessarily always go on to practice law. They may teach law, they may work in other law-based circumstances and contexts which don't require you to be a practicing attorney at law. And so the truth is that having a law degree, having a law qualification of any sort is going to enhance whatever other area of life and career you pursue, right? So see law as being able to help you to navigate life's challenges by being able to know what to do or not to do in given circumstances. And so whether personally or professionally, a law qualification is bound to enhance your career opportunities, be them law or non-law opportunities. We look at the national and the regional context, right? A law job in Jamaica. Oftentimes I look through the newspapers and online, both in Jamaica and the wider CARICOM region, and there oftentimes are routinely jobs available, whether in government, in private sector, international or regional organization, whether in criminal law, civil law, in the area of land law, human rights law, employment law. There's so many areas of law that persons can find employment in because the law is itself so vast. And law covers so many areas of life that you would have at your fingertips the opportunity to really pursue a variety of areas of law in practice, again, be it in Jamaica or even outside of Jamaica, because of course, by virtue of studying in an English common law institution, by virtue of all of us in the Commonwealth Caribbean, using English law as our foundation, then your skills will be transferable from Jamaica into the Commonwealth Caribbean, into any Commonwealth country, even outside of the Caribbean. Indeed, including Canada, including countries in Africa as well, who are former British territories as well too. And so, the common law, the English law, opens up vast opportunities outside of Jamaica and the Caribbean. If we look to the UK, then we can see that, of course, having a University of London degree will make you also attractive for employment, possibly in the UK. Person may want to choose sometimes to do further studies, so we have scholarships that may be available for further studies in the UK. So the British Council offers a shielding scholarship each year, right? They also come scholarships offered each year for, again, your choice of study. Normally, these pay for you to go to the UK and study. You have accommodation, transportation, tuition, books, stipend, all these things covered by the British government. And so these are also available to you if you want to pursue as a higher education. And certainly your transferable skills with a University of London degree or even a UCC degree that's based on an English common law legal system will be also attractive to persons in the UK and other Commonwealth Caribbean jurisdictions or Commonwealth jurisdictions outside of the Caribbean by virtue of what we do here, which is very much in sync with and based on the English legal system. And so your chances to expand your horizons both academically and professionally through law studies will be impacted positively once you enroll at UCC. So finally, with a few tips for success in UCC law, we always advise persons to prepare in advance for classes, right? Don't take your law studies for granted. Many persons would want to be here in terms of having a chance to study at UCC, but maybe can't afford it, maybe can't qualify and so forth. So if you have the chance to do so, seize it with both hands and prepare in advance, take your work seriously and assess your own commitment to law before you embark on it, right? Do all your assessments from your lecturers, engage in study groups, and also, of course, do your own individual work. Pay attention to the use of English language, as I said before, important in use of English law. And finally, ensure that you understand the legal principles and cases which come out of each of the courses you're studying. And of course, rely on and utilize your lecturers and tutors who we have, because we have a very, let's say, impressive cadre of lecturers here with us who have experience and practical skills and knowledge to assist you to success. And so for information, please feel free to contact myself or Mrs. Maxine Watts, who is here online with us as well, or Senior Program Coordinator in the Law Department. And we'll be glad to answer any questions and provide you any information to help you with the process to sign up and to sign on. All right, so back over to you then, Mrs. Myers, for the program to continue, and I look forward to any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Goff. Could you put it back on the contact information? I'm sure there are persons who would like to ask more questions, who are interested, they want to find out more. You know, they have this information available to them so that they can reach out to yourself and Mrs. Watts. I don't know about y'all, but I have learned a whole lot, and I have no interest in law, but right about now, I feel like I could probably take on a law course. I feel inspired. But thank you, Dr. Goff, for your presentation. It was a wealth of knowledge, and I definitely appreciate it. We appreciate it as a participant. Mrs. Watts, thank you too for chiming in, for providing information to our participants. Now we're going to hear from the recruitment team. And guys, we're going to answer the outstanding questions that are in the chat. We're going to answer them after Mrs. Donaldson's presentation. So we're going to hear from Mrs. Hoover Donaldson, and she's going to tell you why you should choose UCC, why sign up with UCC, why study a law program here at UCC, what is the process like, you know, getting integrated into the system. So over to you, Mrs. Hoover Donaldson.
Thank you, Martino. Well said. And I will share my screen now. And so we will begin. As you have heard from Dr. Goff, as well as Mrs. Maxine Watts, I'm just going to put some icing on the cake as it relates to why UCC, why study at UCC. So with the career talk that you have heard from Dr. Goff, he was very, very comprehensive in his information that he has shared with you today. And so it will overlap with some of the slides that I have, but I will just go through them as quickly as possible so that we can answer all the questions that you have. So why study at UCC? Let's tell you about our story. The University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, again, in its quest to increase access to quality higher education in Jamaica, provides its students with great opportunity to earn a bachelor's degree in law or a certificate in higher education in common law. But we do not stop there. We are other law programs at the UCC, which covers criminology and criminal justice. I know Dr. Goff didn't mention that, but I'm going to speak to that in ways because you can matriculate from the criminology and criminal justice to pursue your law degree. He mentioned also about the certificate in paralegal study, which, you know, it's really, really a very informative and as well as widespread information that you will get about the laws of Jamaica, things that you actually can do. It fits right in to a lot of business places. So it not only just the law industry, but also a lot of other business places that actually deal with laws within their industry. And so I want to just continue and just right. So what are some of the achievements? Dr. Goff mentioned earlier about the University of London, who is recognized nationally here and also internationally as a center for academic excellence. And its quality of its degrees are assured throughout the assessment and the examination process. And he went through that as well with you very comprehensively. And upon completion of your program, you're awarded the University of London degree for the Bachelor's of Law as well as the Certificate of Higher Education. So again, welcome to UCC. So not only do we have the University of London law degrees, but we also have UCC law degree program. And information such as this are the requirements for entering the Bachelor of Law and other law degrees program. Dr. Goff went through along with the law program as well as the Certificate of Higher Education. But in this presentation, we explore the key requirements pursuing other law degrees in UCC. Again, as recognized, we are institutionally recognized both locally and internationally. So UCC students, we treasure our UCC family, students, young and working adults. So we have a mixture of students that are in our programs, young and working adults alike, prepare themselves with a skill which set them apart in the workplace. Students have the choice of selecting your law program of choice to equip yourself by studying in the industrial level skills here at UCC, and we have makeup of courses and modules that you will do so that your course of study is ideally completed through classes during the days, the evenings, and weekends. Some of the mode of study options that UCC offer for our student is full-time, part-time, and study format of choice like online, iFlex, face-to-face, and online, which we call blended. So think about your law degree journey. It sounds very exciting, very, very exciting. Boy, there's so much things to learn from just some doing law programs, learning law modules and courses. So gaining practical experience through your internship and your externalships is essential, because sometimes we do have mentorship programs and we have practicum experience that our students will go and do the opportunity to provide hands-on learning, networking, exposure to different areas of law. So scholarships are open as well. So as mentioned, a question was asked about scholarship. UCC does offer scholarship, and these scholarships are open to students in any field of study offered locally by UCC. Each of the available scholarship has criteria, though, intended for that particular applicant. But all interested students must have received an acceptance letter from the UCC registrar office before an application for scholarship can be submitted. So welcome to UCC. As a philosophy, it is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, and this is Neil Armstrong. So get ready to uncover the secret of working in the legal world. And Dr. Goff will take you through the steps, as well as you will be coached and mentored by your program coordinator, Mrs. Maxine Watts. So these are some of the qualifications that are presented on the screen. I know that Dr. Goff went through them. So the application process, all applications are done online, whether it's for the Bachelors of Law, the Certificate of Higher Education, the Criminology and Criminal Justice, and the Paralegal study. But what we ask for ease and speed of access to getting your response for your letter, that your supporting documents must accompany your application. So when you go online and you look at the application for the Bachelors of Law, it shows you a similar starting point, just like this. It's a fillable form, so it's just ease. But you need to just remember that the supporting documents are key and the criteria and the requirements are in place. Certificate of Higher Education in Common Law, the same process. We will go through the process of doing the application online, submitted with the required level. Dr. Goff went through it again, but I just want to add the mature entry can be considered for students. All applicants are required to demonstrate oral and written competence in English language. So there's not only just the actual of the 5 GCE O-level or 6 subjects, or the 3 GCE O-level and 6, including English and language and a paralegal qualification, but their consideration for mature entry students who are in the field and can adapt very well in their studies. And just a reminder that the academic year again runs through November 1st to the 31st of October. Our entry point is only once per year. So even though you may start early with your application to UCC, we accept all application, but the processing has a timeline in which it is start in the end of June to July. So bear in mind with us, if you're not starting this year and you're starting next year for the URL law program, that just be mindful of the timeline for entry points and for review, as well as getting your application process. But you can learn the steps, you can learn what it offers, all you're going to need to do with the cost that is associated, so you can prepare well to start on time. So the certificate of higher education application form is just the same way. It's a fillable form. You will fill it out. Always remember that your supporting document is key to the processing of your application. This is the Bachelor of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Their duration for this degree is 4-year program, but it may be reduced up to 2 years if a student gain advanced standing with an appropriate associate degree or equivalent qualification. So there are 2 entry-level requirements when you look at both for Jamaican students, and these are the listing of students. So I hope that you're all interested, and all prospective students, we encourage you to reach out to us so that we can send you more information about all our law programs. And again, the mature entry does exist for every one of our programs as well. So in this case, for some of the career path that you can take under the Bachelor in Criminology and Criminal Justice, but not limited to, is loss prevention officer, a private investigator, a jury consultant, a probation officer, a correctional officer, a criminology professor, so if you're going into teaching, forensic scientist, and a clinical social worker, detective and crime scene investigator. I must tell you that we have a myriad of degree programs that actually can make you cross career path at UCC. So I encourage you to look across all of our degree program and just see how the matching degree program can take you into many fields. As mentioned by Dr. Goff, associate degree in paralegal study, I won't go into it, but in the associate degree program is a 2-year program as well. Candidates, again, under the mature entry, but you must be working in the field or in the industry for 5 years or more and must be of the age of 25. So every other qualification listed, such as academic qualification, a detailed resume also puts you in the light to know how you have been doing in the field of your work, a detailed knowing how responsible you are. Everything must be covered in your detailed resume. A job letter from your company and 3 professional references will be required. So for the international students who enter into programs for UCC, all application fee must come with US dollar, are normally quoted in US dollars. Application for admission, high school diploma, GED, or a certificate of equivalence proficiency with minimum grade point average of 2.5 from an high school. Passes in GCE, an electronic passport size photograph accompany your document, the passport page information if required, or local government issued ID, financial information, how you're going to be studying your program at UCC if you're coming on campus as well. If you have a past degree and you want it to be evaluated for awarding for credit, you may opt to request a transcript from your previous institution and have them send it to UCC. So some of these are the requirements that you will need. So why wait? Career opportunity awaits you. Aspirations are there. Upon graduation, numerous career paths are open up for you, including private practice, again, for our overall law program, corporate law, public interest law, government positions, and more. So explore your interests and leverage for your networking to ensure employment. What is your big idea for the coming year? So I want you to think about it. We are here not only just telling you about our program, but I want to also ask you to continue to grow, learn, and make a positive impact in the legal field. We all need our legal expertise across Jamaica, worldwide, in communities. So be sure to meet deadlines because that is important, and carefully follow each program requirements. So congratulations on completing this presentation pathway to pursuing a Bachelor of Law degree, and so enrollment and beyond. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. You are not alone in your journey. UCC have a range of experienced enrollment and program advisors who are experienced staff members who formally mentor new student leaders into their program of choice. So as I thank you, the university website, www.ucc.edu.jm, is also specially constructed for both new and returning students and would always have up-to-date information that you need to help you to navigate the journey through the tertiary education at UCC. And as mentioned before, information was shared about Mrs. Watt and also Dr. Goff, but I just want to include that UCC recruitment department, you may contact it at any of the UCC campuses island-wide, and you may call us at 876-906-3000, or you may email us at recruitment@ucc.edu.jm. Again, remember, we have a website with lots of information, wide range of information, and www.ucc.edu.jm. Thank you for listening. Over to you, my host.
Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. That was an excellent presentation filled with lots of information. So, guys, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, do not be afraid to reach out to your recruiters. Do not be afraid to reach out to your program coordinators, to your head of department. They are here to assist you, and trust me, they are the best at what they do. So any questions you have, any concerns, reach out to them. They are available to you. All right, so we do have some outstanding questions that I want to get through. It's time for additional question and answers. So if you still have questions after the presentations that happened previously, feel free to send them. You can raise your hand and then I will acknowledge you. But I'm just going to go through some of the questions that are in the chat. So majority of the questions are asking about the fees, tuition. Is there an estimate? How much does it cost to do a bachelor's of law? How much does it cost to do the certificate program? I'm not sure if Dr. Goff or Mrs. Watt is able to give an estimate, but I'm going to hand that over to them.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Myers. Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. So I think I'm gonna ask Ms. Watts. Ms. Watts, so you want me to do it? This is the fees. So the fees is always a challenge. People want to know how much for the cert, how much for the bachelor's, how much for UCC, how much for London. So if you could assist with that. I was gonna say that I did share some links in my slides where the information is available on the website, but since we're here, it would be good to clarify. So I don't know if Ms. Watts want to share a screen, or if you want me to share a screen while Ms. Watts takes you through, maybe I can do that as well. I'm going to ask Ms. Watts to assist with that, since she normally would be on the front line dealing with your queries and questions about that. And also people might want to know about student loan as well, SLB, which is also, I think, a good question to ask from now, So over to you, Mrs. Watts.
Thank you, Dr. Goff. Yes, I agree with you that the fee structure usually is a challenge. One of the reasons being that we are dealing with two universities, and two universities' cost. And so if you go on our website, you will see the fact sheet that contains all that we are talking about. And on the second page, you will find the tuition breakdown. On the tuition breakdown, and this goes for both the certificate and Bachelor of Laws applicants, you will find that for the certificate program, you will have 4 subjects that you will need to do for the University of London, and 1 that Dr. Goff mentioned, the English for Legal Professionals. That is a semester course that is mandatory for all certificate students to complete. And so for the University of London, the total fee that you will need is £2,390. And if you multiply that by 190 Jamaican dollars, which you will need to use the current rate. So we may be saying this now, but it could be either higher or less, because what it is that we're doing, it's daily rate that you will use when you are ready to make your payment. It is the current rate that is in existence at the time. And so £2,390 is what it is that you will require for the year. And so to multiply that by 190, which is the rate I'm using for today, it is 454,100. And that's University of London alone. And with the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, the fee for 4 subjects would be 324,912. And that's inclusive of our miscellaneous fees that you will get a breakdown that it contains. So you will have the miscellaneous fees containing things like your insurance while you're here, your jam copy fees, and so on. And so when you add the 454,100 plus the 324,912, you're looking at $779,012. And as I said before, this could be either higher or lower given the rates of exchange for the day. And so with that, you're looking at the 4 subjects for the University of London program. And if it is that you add the 43,400 that we talked about for the English course, for the certificate program, you're looking at 822,412 Jamaican dollars for the year. And of course, you really do not pay all this fee at one time. University of London requires that you pay the registration and module fees for registration. Registration fee is a one-time fee, and for this year it is £607. And that is only for the first year that you make that payment. Subsequent years, you only pay module fees and examination fees. And so this year, the module fee is £189. And so for doing 4 modules, it's £756. Examination fee is £230. And so for 9 courses, it's $920. Now, examination fees are paid in the year you're going to sit the examination. And so examination for the module, remember, it's an academic year. So you will study for fall and spring, and then you go and sit the University of London examination May, June of 2024. And so you will pay the examination fee the January of 2024. So £920 for 4 modules is when you would pay that fee, January 2024. So if 1st of February comes and that fee is not yet paid, you're in a little spat. And so we encourage you to stay close to your coordinator and the university that will give continuous guidance as you go along the program. Also, if it is that you have concerns about payment arrangement may be considered for the University of the Commonwealth portion, and that you can work out with the Student Financial Services Department. And of course, at the orientations, we give further details in this regard. All right. So I hope that that will give you some indication as to what the fees are. Come 2nd and 3rd year, your fee structure reduces because you do not pay registration fee, you do not pay application fee, and UCC reduces its cost also. So for the University of London in unit fee, it is 78,353. But come 2nd year, it is 70,513. And so there is a reduction there. So you're highest outlay, it's in the first year.
Thank
I
you,
trust that
Mrs.
will help.
Watts.
You're most welcome.
That was very helpful. Gabrielle is asking, what can I do with my criminology and criminal justice degree? No, I believe Dr. Goff and even Mrs. Hooper Donaldson had highlighted some of the career paths and programs and stuff that, the path that you can take based on your qualifications. But either Dr. Goff or Mrs. Donaldson can again just briefly run through some of the career paths.
Okay, I'll go ahead with this one. Thank you, Martino. Just a reminder, but not limited to, for the criminology and criminal justice, a person can be a private investigator, a loss prevention officer, a jury consultant, probation officer, correctional officer, a criminology professor, a forensic scientist, a clinical social worker, a detective, and a crime scene investigator, but not limited to. Over to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. Other questions? I currently live in the US. This is from Robert. How will I be able to have access to learning? Is it via video? And someone had also asked about the blended delivery modality. Can the program be done online, or how would it affect, them being in a different country? How can they still pursue this program if they're interested? Is it possible? I'm going to leave that to you guys.
Thank you for that question, Martino. So it depends on the program of study that they will be embarking on. So I will let Mrs. Watts or Dr. Goff speak to the URL side as it relates to entry into the program, but I will speak to the criminal justice program as well as the paralegal studies. For students who are international, they can do online, that will be a fully online practice if they are actually overseas and not in Jamaica. Not only just Jamaicans, but international persons that reside, that their citizenship is elsewhere, they could actually do the fully online program that is offered through our online campus. And there's two ways of looking at it. So they will do their program just as they would do an online study. It's a real life education process where they will have their lecture in front of via Zoom or the Moodle platform to which we use, and they will be teaching that student, all of their students in that particular class. There's a set schedule that our students can have a wider range where they can choose the day and time that is actually good for them for their online classes. They'll be done. But when it comes to exam, we use a online exam system such as ProctorU, but I won't go into that because once you're in the program, you will be advised by your program coordinator as well about that system, how that system works. But you can actually do your program from overseas online for both the criminology and the paralegal studies, fully online. The blended would have to be the approach that they would have to be here in Jamaica for the face-to-face. So the blended approach is sometimes face-to-face, you will choose your program within that semester, classes that you will do face-to-face, and some classes that you will do online. So the choice is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. I'll take
Okay.
2 more questions. You want to go ahead, Mrs. Watts? You have something?
Right. I wanted to speak to the other aspect that Mrs. Donaldson did not address, which is the University of London portion of that question. For the University of London, they have mandated that our courses be face-to-face. However, we are still in dialogue to have portions of that being somewhat hybrid. And by hybrid, we are talking about having classes online as well as face-to-face. And so persons that are living outside the country, we are encouraging persons to come in and to do the program, whether you're from the rural areas or overseas. Overseas, naturally, you may not be able to come, and so special arrangements would have to be made in those instances. And as I said before, we are in dialogue to see how best we can accommodate such students. And so once we have that, before Corona, we were only face-to-face. During Corona, we were straight online, but now that they have said we are opened up, we need to go back to face-to-face. We still have students that were in that sort of situation. And so we are asking London to see if we can continue that path. And so we would encourage you to keep in touch with us to see how far we get with that information so we can pass that on to you. So leave your information with us where we can provide further details in that regard. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Watts. All right, so I'm going to take 4 more questions from the chat, and then we can open the floor for about 2 minutes to take additional questions. Now, let me find the questions. Yashika asks, is there a difference in tuition for non-Jamaican/foreign students versus Jamaican students?
No, not at this time, but we have the same tuition for both local and international.
Martina, I would just like to add with what Mrs. Watts said about the URL program. So if you're speaking to the paralegal or the criminal and criminal justice, if you're a Jamaican and you reside overseas, and when you make an application and actually verification has been done, you will pay the local fee as Jamaican. But if you're an international student with not a Jamaican, then you will pay a different US rate.
Thank you both. Marie Ann Brown asks, I did unit 1 and 2 law in Cape. Would I be qualified to enroll in the school? And would I still need to do the first year program? Let me just repeat that. She did unit 1 and 2 law in Cape. She wants to know if she would be qualified to enroll in the school, or would she still need to do, and would she still need to do the first year program? Marianne, could you please clarify which program it is that you are interested in so that we can better able to answer that question? While Marianne asks, I'm going to take one more question. Sharon had asked, what if you already have a degree in another field? Can you still be admitted to pursue the certificate of higher education in common law?
If you have a degree, yes, you can. Some persons really only want to sort of whet their appetite. And so once you have completed the certificate, you get a 1 year, it's a 1-year program. And so you get a certificate with that. The good thing about the program is that if it is that you change your mind about continuing, you can just segue, you matriculate into the 2nd year of the Bachelor of Law. And of course, the Bachelor of Law is a 3-year program. So persons who actually does the certificate get a certificate in higher education, and if they move on to the LLB, they also get an LLB certification. So they are actually getting 2 certificates at the end of the day.
Thank you. One last question. Yashika also asks, what is the average book cost per term? I'm not sure if you guys have the answer to that one, but I want to throw it out there. Yashika asked.
Well, the book cost for the University of London program, the University of London, the registration fee that you pay, it includes your study guide, and statute. The actual textbook, you may be able to source those on like Amazon or Earthprint, which is the University of London site, or any local institution that have the current book. But they usually ship the books to you. Hence, we encourage persons to register early. And so we at the UCC, our cutoff is the end of August. Even though you may see October as an opportunity to still register, we don't encourage that, because once it is that you wait that long, you will be in line with hundreds of other students from over 180 countries in the world that's sending in for their study materials. And so you'll be in a queue. So the earlier you pay your registration fee, the earlier it is that you will get your study guides and statute to start classes. The good thing here at UCC is that we do have some study materials in our library that you can access while you wait on your books to arrive. And so, yes, your books and tuitions are covered in our fees.
Excellent. That was some vital information. I hope everyone caught that. Thank you, Mrs. Watts. I'm opening the floor for 1 more minute for questions. Alexa, you can go ahead. I see your hand is up. You can go ahead and ask your question. Or you can type it in the chat. Alexa, I see the mic moving, but I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Good evening. I don't know if Alexa is ready. Hello.
Afternoon, you can go ahead.
Yes, Sharita here. What I would like to ask, pending the tuition fee, oh, can I get on board and pay my registration fee and all the other miscellaneous fees to get started before the registration? Not the registration, before all the preparation has ended. Oh, can I get on board and doing that? Because I work with the government, and my tuition fee will be paid at the ending of August, September, middle of September. So, oh, can I start with the miscellaneous payments?
Can you
Hello?
clarify which one of the programs?
Oh, sorry, paralegal studies. Paralegal studies.
Okay, thank you, Sharita, for that question.
Yeah.
As it relates to the paralegal, both for the paralegal and the criminology and criminal justice, the process would be the same. It's just that the paralegal is a 2-year, while the criminology is expected for 4 years. So once a student has started and sending their application, remember that the key to be in process, and we want to make sure that you understand the process before you actually go into making payments. I just want to make that clear. So once you qualify, you look at all the requirements, the qualification that is required, and you know that you meet it, right? And you have documentation to prove that, and you have submitted all of this, you may contact one of our student or UCC recruiter to go through the other process with you and go through it, where it depends on the semester that you come in, there's going to be a difference to the miscellaneous fee. But in addition to the letter that will come, you will pay a registration fee of $1,000. And then the other financial fees will come into play for your program. So we can work through that with you. So you can contact any student, any UCC staff recruiter from any of the campuses island-wide, or you may send us an email at recruitment@ucc.edu.jm, giving us your query and a contact information, and we'll follow up with you as well. So we can go through it, because each individual student will come into the program different from the other students. So we go through that with you for clarity.
Thank you, Mrs. Donaldson. Alexia's question was, I would like to know If I am currently doing an associate in paralegal studies and want to enter the bachelor's program, what would be the duration to complete the bachelor's?
The duration will still be 3 years because the associate degree is just one of the entry level that you can use to get into the bachelor's program. Just like you would do the certificate is one option also to enter into the LLB. So once you've completed the certificate, which is a 1-year program, then you can matriculate to the second year of the bachelor's. So if it is that you have completed the associates, that's your entry point. You therefore start the LLB at the first year. So you have 3 years to complete the bachelor's program for the law.
All right, thank you. The last two hands, Kelly, you can go ahead. You can use your mic. If you're not able to, you can send it in the chat.
Hi, just another. Hi, my question is that is there
Kelly?
any work?
You can go ahead.
One of my questions is that if there is any work on campus options available.
Thank you, Kelly. I'll do my best to answer your question. Are you referring to students who are accepted at the program at UCC? Are there any opportunity for you to work on campus as well as study?
Yes.
Yes, we do offer that. And so we have a department called the Students Affairs that you may enter your interests with them, that this is one of the opportunities that can help you continue your program, and you would like to have that hands-on experience on campus as well for a department that suits your qualification, also your expertise, and you could be a great fit for a department that needs your help. Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. And could you guys go ahead and repeat the estimate for the 1 year for the Bachelor's of Law?
Okay, so we are looking at approximately 822,000 just for the certificates, and a little less than that for the bachelor's.
Okay, and that is including the fees for the University of London and the UCC, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Last one, thank you, Mrs. Watts. Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. Marie Ann Brown, as your hand up, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My question was to find out because I did CAPE Unit 1 and 2, so I was wondering if I could do the bachelor's degree in law without if it's gonna like pose as a problem in doing it.
No, you would not have a problem. Right away, you are able to enter the Bachelor's of Law at the standard entry of the program. If it is that you have a first degree, you would have been automatically exempt 3 of the 12 modules. But as it is, you have an associate's degree, you said? Because, well, the CAPE is twin to that. And so you would enter the LLB program at the first year. So you would have 3 years in which to complete.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that was an informative session. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot. I'm just going to kindly ask Dr. Goff or either Mrs. Hooper Donaldson just to put up the contact information again on the screen so that interested persons can send emails, they can call, whatever queries or questions that they have, they can reach out to Mrs. Watts, they can reach out to Dr. Goff, they can reach out to the recruitment department and they can send their emails and just get the necessary information that they're seeking. So you can take a picture of this, you can write it down, you can screenshot it, whatever way you get your information, just make a note of this so that you can reach out to learn more about our law programs and how you can, matriculate into the programs. But this was an informative session and I want to officially thank you all for being a part of it. Alexia Leachman, you still haven't reached out to me to give me your information. Remember, you're one of the winners. But thank you so much for being a part of this webinar talk. Stay tuned. We don't know what topic we're doing for September yet, but we want you to be a part of it. Now, the recording for this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel. Hopefully by the end of this week, you will receive an email, so just stay tuned. You can follow us on socials to learn more, to see updates, to see what we're up to, and to just see what other topic, what other program are we going to look at next? You never know. But thank you for being a part of this. I want to thank our panelists. Thank you, Dr. Goff. Thank you, Mrs. Watts. Thank you, Mrs. Hooper Donaldson. And thank you, our attendees, for being a part, for asking your questions, for sharing your concerns, for participating. It is truly appreciated. And we do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day and be a part of our next career talk. Thank you so much and be safe.